Hello, everybody. Welcome to Why Wednesday with Top Hat Creative Marketing. My name is Brett, and today we have Jen with us. Hi, Jen. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So today we're gonna just do some updates, take a look at some algorithm changes, and see what Jen's got coming up in the future. So
Yeah.
over to you, Jen. How you doing?
I'm good. There's been a lot of shifts in the social media world this year, I feel like. And one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about is Instagram, because a lot of people were cranky last year, as most of us know. Meta really wanted to compete with TikTok, so they put a lot of energy into Reels on Instagram. And a lot of us really were bummed about it that Instagram became a video platform. For instance, I have clients that are photographers and their posts were suddenly being suppressed like crazy because they're not posting videos. And they're like, well, I'm a photographer. But what's been interesting is there's definitely been a shift in the last, I'm going to say 60 days or so, that Instagram is now not as heavily relying on video, but if you're going to post still images, it needs to be a carousel. So it needs to be more than one image. My dog is chasing my cat across my apartment. um, but make sure you're at least posting two images, because the way the algorithm is working right now, it will send out your initial image, so whatever that first image is. And if that one does even iffy, then it seems like it's sending it out again through your feed with the second or third or fourth image. So I'm noticing that if I log on to Instagram, a few times throughout the week, I'll see the same post from someone, but it will be a different image from that post.
Interesting.
So yeah. So, I mean, as simple as having a second image that has your contact information on it, like
Right.
just something, or a QR code, which I'm not crazy about QR codes being posted on Instagram, but something in a second slide. If you're posting, pictures from a branding shoot of yourself, then pick more than one to share. Event photos, that's easy. Always, 3, 4, 5 of them. But when you're posting on Instagram, video, I mean, is still king. I mean, they're still desperately trying to compete with TikTok, which who knows what's going to happen there. But if you're going to post still images, take the time to at least post two, a minimum of two. I'm finding that 3 to 5 does the best, and they cap you at 10. But it does seem like still images are making a little bit of a comeback on Instagram, which is nice for those of us that don't want to post videos all the time.
Exactly. Well, we knew the other foot was going to drop, and the flying car was actually going to exist when we were talking about media, and that was video is going to take over.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it seems that it is well on its way now. And so it's real interesting to hear that from you. I mean, everything from Google and obviously Facebook with the lives we're doing now, and everything. I mean, that's why we do Facebook Lives, because Facebook promotes it. They want to stay
Oh,
relevant. And so doing this is so much better than a post. That's why we're doing
yeah.
it. And
Yeah, it's that authenticity piece. They wanna see people being real instead of, and even on that front, like, videos that are a little bit less edited are doing better on social media, and that's, I mean, all of this is because of TikTok. TikTok really has changed the world of social media in the last 3 years. Um, there's a speaker, we'll talk about Social Media Day in a minute, but there's a speaker coming that says that TikTok is like punk rock for the 80s. It's getting back to, like, this very, like, real, authentic, people want to see who you really are, not this facade. And that's really taking over social media in general. The over curated, over edited, it's just not doing as well.
interesting. Well, you
Yeah.
you how many times have we talked here about telling your story? And if you're telling your story in an authentic way, it's going to be less edited and more real.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that same kind of realm, if you haven't heard, then in 2022, TikTok.com was accessed more than Google.com on a global level. So that's huge, right? I mean, Brett, you live in the Google world, so you
Right.
especially know what a big deal that is. So it's funny because people are like, oh, so I need to be doing TikTok even more. And that's not the way it works. You should, like, TikTok should have been 2022 when TikTok was being accessed more than anything. But I like to think of it, all of these companies are like kids on a playground fighting for attention. And Google is now fighting for the attention, right? So
Right.
at the beginning of the year, I think it was in January, Google put out their creator fund for YouTube Shorts. and it is the best paying creator fund out of any of the platforms. So all of these platforms are learning they need to actually pay people for the content that they're putting out there. So there's creator fund. I mean, there's even the stars on Meta, which is a joke, but YouTube it has their creator fund for YouTube Shorts, and it is the highest funded creator fund of any of the social media platforms. So what that means is this is the year to be getting over onto YouTube Shorts if you aren't there already. That being said, it's probably, I think, the trickiest of all the short form video. For one, it's a minute. It's a hard minute. If you even go up to like 1.001 minutes, it's going to kick it to long form video. And then, as many people know, longer video on regular YouTube does better, at least 5-minute videos. So you really need to make sure you're below that minute mark. I usually suggest 46 to 56 seconds. And here's Hagrid to say hi. Live video, right?
Right.
So getting into YouTube Shorts, but it also needs to be something really informational for people. YouTube isn't going to promote, you dancing or just beautiful pictures. It needs to be something that you're teaching people. So,
Right.
If we ever kept one of these to less than a minute, which you and I can talk forever about this stuff,
Right.
that would be perfect. But we could take a video like this, chop it up into 1-minute segments, label it part 1 of 6, part 2 of 6. So now is the time. It's, even 60 days ago was the time to get going on YouTube Shorts, because that is where Google is putting their money right now when it comes to YouTube, especially. And of course, I mean, TikTok is still king. TikTok's still up to 10 minutes. I don't know why we haven't actually put these videos on TikTok, but we could.
I just felt like it wasn't the platform in terms of anything except sort of content creation or artistic stuff. It doesn't really have a business vibe. I don't know how to say it better.
So it's changed in the last, I would say last 12 months. There's more and more. Well, I work full-time still at a mortgage office. And that's a great example, as we also do sales coaching for mortgage originators. And Adam and I were telling them for 2 years to get onto TikTok, but they were all so busy working in their business that they were like, oh, TikTok. Well, now their business has slowed down, and more people in the mortgage and real estate industry, especially, are now on TikTok, and they're doing informational videos, how to get your offer accepted. What does an inspection look like? All of that. So there has been this more informational pivot to TikTok. They actually there's a whole different, so you have 3 feeds now. You have your For You page, which is the most incredible algorithm. It really it knows exactly what you want to see.
Right.
Who you're following. Right. It's actually impressive how on point it is.
Right.
And then the third one is STEM. Now there's a whole feed that is just educational videos. So they're really making that pivot. And I'm guessing it's largely due to the fact that Gen Z is using TikTok like we use YouTube. If they want to learn how to change their tire, they're going to TikTok to find it, not to YouTube. So
I was wondering when that shift was going to happen, sort of waiting for it, but I'd never really seen it. So it's real interesting to hear that that's finally happening now, and we can add that to this. We do this over StreamYard, and it goes out to wherever we want it to. And I mean, we've looked at LinkedIn, we've looked at putting it on different places. And we'll have to add that. So
yeah, I'll post it to my TikTok too, and we'll see how it does. But the hard thing is it should be formatted the opposite way. But I upload Adam's weekly little tip every week to TikTok, even though it's formatted the other way. And it still gets, 300 to 500 views a week, which, we're in that viral stage where people think they need hundreds of thousands of views. But 300 people putting eyes on your content, that's a lot of people,
especially when the algorithm's so good at giving people information they want. 300 is huge if you're getting a good target.
Exactly because I mean, that TikTok algorithm, it's funny to me that none of the other platforms have really figured it out, because the TikTok algorithm is unreal. And they have just released a feature where you can reset your For You. So if you got into a mood, like let's say you got into, book talk is a big thing right now, and you were interacting with all kinds of books, and then you're like, I don't want to see this anymore. You can actually reset your For You so that it'll start the algorithm over to relearn what you want to see.
Nice.
it's very, yeah, I mean, things like my cat passed away almost 3 weeks ago, and I posted a couple TikToks about his passing. So there's so much about pet loss in my For You, and I don't really want to see that because I'm, dealing with my grief as it is. So
Right.
I reset my algorithm to give it a refresh, which no other algorithm gives you that control. So I
No.
could go off on a whole, we'll have to do a whole, one of these on TikTok, but it's incredible. And it's one of those, I mean, we talked about AI last time. If you're not already doing AI, you're getting behind on the ball. If you're not already doing short form video, you're definitely behind, but it's not too late to get in, especially on the YouTube short side, I think.
Yeah, and especially on the more established small business front. I mean, your rate of adoption's under 5%, a lot of times under 1% with all this really new stuff. I mean, you've got your early adopters, but
Yeah.
I've noticed that so few people are doing it compared to the total number out there. Yeah, there's a lot of people because on TikTok doing it, but that's the entire community, the entire
Right.
country, or the entire
Right.
orthodontists or marketers or whoever you're talking about. But the actual number per the total is not very large percent.
No.
So you're not behind, but you're definitely not cutting edge if you aren't getting there pretty dang soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, that's real interesting. My thoughts while you were talking about that was that, okay, Google's the biggest search engine in the world. YouTube's the second biggest search engine in the world. Oh, good. That's all under one umbrella. Love it. But to have something like TikTok come out and have those numbers is really encouraging on one hand, that there's something under a different format,
Hmm.
a different umbrella, that it's not just Big Brother under one tent. Um,
Yeah. It's
it-
refreshing to see that somebody can compete with the giants for
exactly.
sure.
That's my point. So really interesting stuff. So what else do you have coming up, Jen?
Yeah, so we have Social Media Day Denver coming up June 23rd, and Brett will actually be speaking at it this year. I'm very excited to
Yay.
have Brett come talk about Google My Business. You spoke last year at Mile High Mastermind and blew everyone's mind that thought they were doing a decent job with Google My Business. So
That was
we've
fun
never
and a little
had
mean.
we've never had anybody talk about Google at Social Media Day, so I'm very excited for that. We're gonna do a panel talking about AI. I'm gonna sit on that panel with
Nice.
a couple other people. Yeah, because again, I really think that people need to be figuring out how they can work with AI instead of being afraid of it, which we talked about last month. I have Riley coming in from California to talk about TikTok. We'll have a different LinkedIn speaker this year. I always have a LinkedIn speaker because LinkedIn is a
You
separate
got it.
beast.
You
Yeah,
got it.
I mean, just to touch on that briefly, long form content is what kills on LinkedIn, and any other platform, it's going to flop. So,
Right.
Social Media Day is Friday, June 23rd at Metro State University. Brett has his own discount code for tickets, so I'll let him share that with you guys. But we'd love to have you there. It's for absolutely anyone, especially if you own a business or you work in any sort of creative side of a business, but really even if you just want to learn more about social media in general, there's a little bit of everything. There's usually about 50 to 60 people there, and it's just a cool community. It's one day, we all hang out, all have lunch together, and learn a lot from each other. So Friday, June 23rd.
Yes, it was very fun last year. This year I get to speak. Really looking forward to it. And hearing all those other speakers. I mean, the more we dive into TikTok, the more I want to hear.
Right.
You never learn enough about LinkedIn. There's always more to do. There's so many things that you can add to it without overwhelming yourself, but really enhance what you're doing for your business. So
Absolutely.
really looking forward to that. I think we'll leave it there. Anything else for you, Jen?
I don't think so. Thank you so much as always. I really appreciate it.
Great having you, and we will see you next month. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.